Hey, what's up, guys? Coach Mikal here with Cerebral BJJ, and today we have a very special concept for you. We're going to be talking about transitioning from the side mount to the mount, and a common issue that I see a lot of people have. Okay, so in this situation, Ty's on his back. I have him in the side mount. Okay, now here's a common mistake that I see a lot of people make. They want to get to the mount, okay, and the mount looks like this. Right? Now, of course, they could have, you could have grapevines, or sometimes I like to, I don't know if you see right here, cross my ankles underneath his bottom to control his hips, and that's all good, right? But that's not the main piece of what we're going to be talking about right here. What I'm going to be talking about is how do I get there? So a lot of times, when people want to get to the mount, one of the most common things I see is they're going to bring this, what I call the trail leg, his head leg right here that I'm raising, and they bring it in. They just try to throw their leg over. Okay? Now, that's wrong. Don't do that anymore. That's crazy. Stop. Don't do that. Okay? You're going through this huge area of danger. Right? All he has to do is raise his leg up. Boom. And I get caught into half guard. Alright? I have this great, beautiful position. I work so hard to pass his guard, and now I put myself back into half guard, and why? Right? So, he opens up. When I'm here in this position, instead of me just going through all this, see these open legs? That's nothing but danger. All he has to do is open his leg up, straighten it up, just one of them, right? And I'm going to hit his leg, right? Inversely, when guys try to step over your leg, all you got to do is raise your leg up. So instead of doing that, I have a couple of different concepts that we're going to work on, okay? So the way the concept works, I'm going to make sure I control his legs first, now that I've transitioned. I like to make sure I either make him face away from me or face towards me. Sometimes it's his decision because he's strong and working intelligently, and sometimes it's my decision because he's not. Right? So in this situation, let's first talk about making him face away. Right? So when I have him face away from me, right, my trail leg is going to glide in. Boom. And I have my knee, if you guys want to come this way a little bit, right, and you can see from a top view, you can see my leg is framing his body. Okay? See that? I'm framing his body right now. Right? And because I'm holding on here, I'm going to bring my knee across his belly. Now, sometimes when people do this, and they bring it across the belly, they come straight across, right? And that can walk in other problems we'll talk about later. Right? So what I like to do is I like to start with my entry point on my knee and drive it 45 degrees up. Partially because they're going to be moving, most likely, and partially because I need to make sure that I get enough room for my leg. Right? So now that I'm here, boom, I'm going to bring my knee in, and then I slide it down. I personally like to leave my leg hooked at his hip so I can back out in case I change my mind. Okay? Now that I'm here, I have to make sure that I've isolated this arm. Boom. And then I'll come down. Now that I'm down, I want to make sure I control his hips. Because it's not enough to get the position. I need to make sure I keep the position. So I'm either going to, once I get here, grapevine his legs and splay them out, or I'm going to cross my ankles underneath his hips. Right? There's other concepts. Some guys, the Cerebral brothers, they're fantastic professors. And a lot of times you'll see they keep their toes very close as they control the hips. Right? Rafi Lovato Jr. does that quite a bit too. Right? It's a fantastic concept as well. I like crossing my ankles here and making sure that I box their hips in. Okay? So let's go back real quick. All right? So now that I'm here and I was able to convince them to turn away, or maybe they were trying to roll away, I bring my entry point on my knee, boom, and it comes down. I make sure I isolate this arm, right? And a lot of times their knee is starting to face up. So by that time, because they don't realize what's going on, boom, and here I am inside my position. All right. So that's what happens if they face away. So in this situation, sometimes their lower body starts to face me because they're trying to shrimp or get half guard, right? So in this situation, I still have my knee framed into their hip like I showed you just a moment ago, but instead, since I'm blocking their bottom leg from being able to come in, now I keep this leg closed. Now I can step over, right? Which is super important. Now that I've stepped over, my partner starts to get back to the mount. Boom, and try to get upright, and I'm in a good spot. Right? Excellent. Okay, guys, so again, we're starting in the side mount, and in this situation, I want to make his legs point away from me. And that's cool. Now he's pointing away. I'm going to take my trail leg, one close by his head, right, and I'm going to slide it in. Right, so I'm framing up against his body. Now that I'm here and he's already facing away, my knee enters at his hip. Boom. Now that I'm down, I make sure I block that arm. And then I take my position. I've got my mount. And sometimes when they start to try to shrimp, look, he's going to try to shrimp out. Boom. I bring that knee down, right? And then now I can step over. Remember before I said don't step over through this gap. But when I've closed these wings, there is no gap. Okay? So it's now I'm safe to step through. Boom. Now I can step over and I can get my hook. Isolate that arm, and now I've taken the mount. Okay? Now because I've made isolating the arm such an important part of what I'm doing, you'll see lots of submissions available to me. Lots of cool stuff that's there, right? It's a really cool transition. I think you're going to get a lot of mileage out of it. This is a super core fundamental concept. Don't step over that crazy, crazy dead space and get locked up in a half guard. It's so common that happens. All right, guys, great job. Keep training. Keep growing. Us. Hey guys, if you liked this video and you want to check out some more awesome jiu-jitsu techniques, concepts, and strategies, make sure to subscribe to our button below. Or you can also go to cerebralbjj.com. Again, that's cerebralbjj.com, and check out our awesome online training program with myself and a lot of other awesome coaches like Rafael Lovato Jr., Kurt Osiander, Coach Foster, Coach Alan Moeller, and more.